We're going to set rules of the road, common sense regulations to keep our market free and fair, restore accountability and responsibility in our boardrooms. And I'll go through the entire federal budget line by line. We'll eliminate spending that isn't helpful to our families. We'll end that war in Iraq. We'll eliminate subsidies to insurance companies that don't need it. We are going to do whatever it takes. And I'm not going to let the lobbyists stop me, because they haven't funded my campaign. They will not run my White House, and they will not drown out the voices of the American people when I'm the President of the United States. Now, I won't pretend that this is going to be easy, Philadelphia. We're all going to need to make some sacrifices. We're all going to need to pull our weight. Because now more than ever, we're all in this together. You know, I can put more money into education, but it's not going to do any good if parents, you don't turn off those TV sets and put the video games away and make sure your child is taking schoolwork seriously. I can try to help get young men and young women jobs out here in West Philadelphia, but it won't help if, fathers, you don't start fathering once in a while. I can put more money into energy, but each of us have a role to play in being more energy efficient. Little things, just turning off the lights, making sure your tires are inflated, doing the things that can make a difference when all of us do it together. This country and the dream it represents is being tested in a way that we haven't seen in nearly a century. We can't fail this test. We can't lose our nerve. We can't lose our sense of purpose. Not now. Not when we have a crisis to solve. Not when we have an economy to save. Not when there's so many Americans without jobs, without homes. Not when more people are slipping into poverty. Not when so many families can't afford to see a doctor or send their child to college. Not when there's a generation that's counting on us to give them the same opportunities and chances that somebody gave us. You know, I'm like a lot of you. I wasn't born into great wealth or fame. I was raised by a single mother and my grandparents. They didn't have a lot of money, but they gave me love. They gave me a great education. They sacrificed. They put off buying nice things for themselves. They understood that there's some things they might not be able to do in order that I might be able to do those things. Everybody here, you've got a story like that in your family. Maybe you've got a grandparent who, you know, they weren't able to go to college, but they thought to themselves, if I work hard, maybe my grandchild will go to college. They might have had to work in a dirty, nasty job, but they said to themselves, if I stick with this job, no matter how dirty and nasty it is, maybe someday my child, they'll be able to own a business of this, make something. Somebody here has a grandmother, or a great-grandmother, or a great-great-grandmother who didn't have the chance to vote, but they were willing to stir things up because their attitude was, my grandchild, my granddaughter, she'll be able to vote. Just like my mother and my grandparents, they say, well, I'm never going to run for the United States Senate. I'm never going to run for the presidency, but maybe my grandson, maybe he can be president of the United States someday. That's the story of America. Each successive generation working hard. I'm here because somebody somewhere stood up for me. And because they stood up, a few more stood up. And then a few thousand stood up. And then a few million stood up. And because they stood up, America became a place where you could make it if you tried. Where dreams were realized. Now it's our turn to stand up. West Philly, I need you to stand up. I need you to stand up. for jobs. I need you to stand up for unions. I need you to stand up for equal rights. I need you to stand up for health care for all Americans. I need you to stand up for education. And if you'll stand up with me and organize with me, if you'll make some phone calls and talk to your friends and talk to your neighbors, if you will vote for me on November 4th, I promise you this, we will not just win Pennsylvania, we will win this general election, and you and I together, we're going to change this country and change the world. Thank you, everybody. God bless you.